Hello everyone and welcome to the Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising video for Virgo. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. My name is Sister Rosa and this is part of my karmic reincarnation series that I have been doing for the past few months or so. Yeah, I'm actually gonna hurry up and try and make all of the videos, all of the karmic reincarnation videos before Christmas, because I promised you guys I would do that, and I also want to do that. And there are a few signs left, and I'm just super excited to get into it. So let's get started. At the end of the video, I will give you some information about me and some information about how you can support the channel, and also how you can have a chance at winning a free reading with me through supporting the channel. But I will get to that at the end. Right now I just want to get started with the reading straight away. So this is basically the concept of this reincarnation series, is that we are all reborn as a specific energy, a specific sign, because we have certain past life reincarnation experiences, and those have shaped us, and they have given us a legacy that we are meant to learn from in some sort of way. We're meant to move forward with in some sort of way, and we're meant to channel into a new expression. And this new expression is the star sign that we're born as. Whether you are watching this as a Virgo because you have a Virgo sun, a Virgo moon, a Virgo ascendant, or just heavy Virgo placements in general, you have that Virgo in you because you're meant to express something in particular. You learn something through that energy, and you've come here because of your past lives, your past life experiences. You got some really beautiful cards. I thought that Virgo's reading would be way harsher somehow, just because being a Virgo, it's not the easiest sign to be. It's not the easiest sign to be assigned to. Not because, well, because you guys ask so much of yourselves. It's one of the signs that asks the most of themselves. Anything that you would ask of anyone else, you ask of yourself tenfold. And so being a Virgo, in essence, puts a lot of strain or a lot of expectations on you as a person already from birth. Your own expectations of what you need to live up to. We all know that Virgo is the sign of perfectionism, but also it's a sign of, sorry, I just had a cold, so it's really annoying. It's the sign of perfectionism, but it's the sign of perfectionism in the sense that Virgo needs to be beautiful. Like, Virgo needs balance, not in the way that Libras do, where balance is a sort of evening out of differences, or balance is the sum of the collective or the greater consciousness or whatever. But the beauty and wholeness within the one individual, the beauty and wholeness within the one person. They need that one individual, themselves or yourselves, to be as beautiful and as perfect as can be. And that's, of course, both a blessing and a curse. But it also creates some pretty spectacular individuals. Yeah. And some pretty interesting results. I don't know, I'm just shuffling right now to get some more specific cards. I already got the cards for your past, present and future lifetimes. Interesting. But I like to shuffle and just get some cards out of the Rider-Waite deck. So I wonder, yeah. let me keep shuffling. And just to see the specifics. So what I'm going to go through here is basically past lifetimes, present lifetime, why are you here, why are you a Virgo, what's your quest as a Virgo, and future lifetimes. Actually, let's go into future lifetimes a little bit more with the Rider-Waite. If we could get one more card, or maybe 2 or 3 for future lifetimes. That would be beautiful. Oh, there we go. Okay, interesting. So let's get straight into it. So for the past lifetimes, you actually got Princess of Discs, which if you've been following me for a while, you will know it's one of my favorite cards. And then you got the Eight of Swords, Interference. And so what I'm gathering from these two together, I know someone told me that the Princess of Swords in the Thoth Tarot, this is the Thoth Tarot, is the card of like the page, but to me this is a queen type of energy, or at least yeah, a princess is not a page, it's not the same thing. So either a queen or a princess in itself. It looks like in a past lifetime you had quite a lot of riches. I'm getting almost like a storyline, like a story of someone who's born with everything, like someone who's born in a really secure, stable place, someone who's really admired, someone who everyone wants to be like, and someone who has a lot of earthly, you know, fleshy almost attraction to them. Someone who amasses or attracts abundance somehow. So whether this is you actually having been some type of princess in a past lifetime, or just having been really abundant. And then we got interference, and I was really curious, like I was strongly drawn specifically to the past life part of the reading, because it just spoke so heavily to me. We have these two very opposite cards, one card of abundance and then one card of lack or loss somehow. Interference being the word of, you know, someone's throwing you off your feet, or something throwing you off your feet, something throwing you off balance, something taking from you. So I pulled a few other cards. I pulled some cards from the Rider-Waite deck. And again, I actually got the Eight of Swords. I got the Five of Swords, which is a very telling card. And then I got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. So I'm getting the sense that someone or something tried to throw you off your horse in past lifetimes. This might be just one particular lifetime. For some reason, this particular lifetime is very important for the reason that you became a Virgo. It's very important for the reason that you choose to manifest as this type of energy in this lifetime. It's like you had everything, but someone or something in society thought that you were too beautiful, or you were too bountiful, or you were too attractive. There was something about you where other people or someone else would take it to be a sign of being materialistic, or being obsessed with power, or like I'm almost getting the sense of someone who's clouded, their judgment is clouded by envy. I also got the words hate and fear. So for some reason it looks like in a past lifetime you had everything, but for some reason someone else or something else wanted to throw you off your horse and take everything that you had, and basically throw you to the wolves and pretend it was for the greater good, or that you were actually the one in the wrong, that you were actually holding on to power, or that you were actually being high and mighty, when in fact you were just being abundant, when in fact you were just being beautiful. I'm also getting an image of someone being burned at the stake, like a witch. So it could be that many people who have now been reincarnated as Virgos have been prosecuted as witches, or have been seen as a witch. Like, there is something, in Swedish we say that something sticks you in the eye. And it's basically when something is so beautiful or something is so impressive that people get sore eyes from it. Like, they don't want to acknowledge that that beauty might come from within, or that that beauty might be well deserved. They don't want to acknowledge that that knowledge comes from within or might be well deserved. So they want to ruin it. They want to throw that person off, their throne, off their safe point, and put them in the dirt, because they can't stand the fact that someone else could have that amount of power or knowledge or insight or wisdom somehow, or beauty. So whether like you had just a general high position in society where you were seen as really beautiful, and then everything was taken from you, or whether you were actually a witch or some type of medicine woman or medicine man, that people revered because you had quite a great deal of knowledge and refinement, and they wanted to take that from you, or someone. I'm getting like the feeling of someone, not everyone, wanted to take that from you, and that was very, very harmful for you. That was very hurting to your sense of trust in the universe, your sense of trust in yourself, your sense of trust in other people, in communities somehow. Because why would someone want to take from someone so beautiful, right? I don't know. So present lifetime, let's go to that. In the present lifetime, you got the card of love, and that surprised me, because Virgo is a sign that tends to, even when you guys are in relationships, and I know that, heartfelt, deep connections are important to you, and I know many Virgos who are in very happy relationships, so it's not about that. But there's something about the sign of Virgo in itself that's very solitary, that needs to rule its own house, that needs to have a certain sense of boundaries, or a certain sense of stability to the self. So I was curious why in the present lifetime, when you actually express yourself as a Virgo, you would get the card of love and the card of connection to someone else. I pulled a few clarifications here as well. And I got the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Swords, and in reverse, and then the Queen of Wands in the upright. So this explains quite a lot to me. This is actually not love for someone else, even if you might be in a committed relationship, or you might be looking for it. And I'm not saying that you will not find it, or that you have not found it. But it's just this lifetime is not about that. That's not the main point of this lifetime. This lifetime is actually about finding that trust again for yourself. Finding that trust in the universe. I just heard someone say that when we are alone, we communicate with God. When we are alone, we are actually the most connected to the divine and to everything around us. And that, the earth is filled, the room is filled, and the air is filled with spirits and guides and loved ones. So we're never actually alone. And you are finding back to that oneness. You are finding back to that completeness with yourself, because something about the way that you were thrown off your throne, and the way that some other people really wanted to treat you badly in a past lifetime, it made you doubt your own trust, if that makes sense. It made you doubt your trust in humanity. It made you doubt everything that had created that abundance in the first place. It made you doubt your unique expression and your right to be the beautiful, wise, intelligent person that you are. And again, I'm getting this medicine woman, medicine man energy here. So I do feel like many Virgos in past lifetimes have worked or have been medicine women and medicine men, perhaps shamans and such as well. But I'm getting more of a sense of like having deep knowledge of nature, having deep knowledge of medicine, having deep knowledge of spirituality, and sharing that with other people, with a sense of pride, with a sense of righteousness. And you are finding back to that sense in this lifetime. You are finding back to this sense of love for yourself and for your fellow humans. And the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Swords I take to be the pain that was experienced when you gave so freely of your knowledge and your beauty, and that was taken from you, or that was taken for granted, perhaps, or perhaps, you know, ripped from you. Now is the time that you actually start seeing that everything in your life begins and ends with your trust in yourself. The trust that you are worthy of love, the trust that you are worthy of affection, the trust that you are worthy of showing your true colors, the trust that you are worthy of being in the spotlight in the way that you were, and that no one will rob you of that place. So this whole entire lifetime will be a quest for getting back up on that throne and loving yourself freely up there, and not being afraid that anyone will rip you off your throne, because no one can take that from you. No one can take you know, the love that you have for yourself from you, unless you allow them to. I think in past lifetimes, I mean, of course you didn't invite anyone in to take anything from you, but I think there was just this big sense of, well, not sense of trust, but more like a naivety. And in this lifetime, it's more about finding that love, but also being the boss, or finding that love, but not being naive, knowing that if you give it to, not if you give your love to the wrong people, but like, you just don't need to throw any pearls to the swine, because you know from past lifetimes where that leads you. That doesn't mean that anyone's going to take anything from you again, or that you're in any type of danger, but it just means that this lifetime is about learning how to keep those treasures to yourself and to the people that really appreciate them, rather than give them to everyone. And that's also a sense of God, I can't talk. That's also part of self-preservation, and knowing why you're actually doing something, and having a sense of integrity is not opening your doors to everyone, but opening it to the people who can really see the beauty of what you have to offer, and growing in your love for yourself and those people. Future lifetimes. Sorry, I'm just observing the cards. For future lifetimes, you got Lust, which is a very lusty card, especially in this Thoth Tarot. So once you have found your way back to the throne, once you have found your way back to that lost knowledge of how to love yourself and how to really pay respect to yourself and not doubt or not fear that anyone could take your love for yourself and for your own life from you. Future lifetimes will be all about planting seeds. Future lifetimes will be all about yeah, I'm getting a very playful feeling here. Like someone who doesn't really, like someone who is so strong and so powerful that they can play with creation, or they can play with existence. For some reason, future lifetimes will be very playful for you. They will be all about exploration, all about finding new ways of expression. I'm getting almost like a whimsical feeling and an artistic feeling. So if the past lifetime was all about, you know, material abundance, present lifetime is all about finding your way up on that throne. Future lifetime is all about expression. You will learn how to express yourself. It's almost like you're finding back to childhood somehow. So once you have climbed back up, you know, through the mud, up on that throne, and you have found that self-love, what you find is that you actually go back to a type of existence that is surprising much like a child's. Free of worries, free of anxieties, and all about finding that playful, whimsical, artistic sense of existence. And I think this could be very helpful or very nurturing for so many Virgos, because you have that energy of perfectionism, you have that energy of needing to understand every single little thing that you do in and out. And now I'm saying that in a sort of oppressive way, but obviously Virgos are very intelligent, and you usually use the knowledge that you gain in a very, very mature and interesting way. But future lifetimes will actually be about letting go of that control. It will be about letting go of the plan, letting go of being on top of the world, and just being in the world instead. Just being part of it, just playing with it, playing with existence, playing with creation. I do get a feeling of someone who's an artist, or someone who tends to their garden, but in a very artistic way, someone who creates from the earth, or from physical materials such as paint, or theater or arts. So it wouldn't surprise me if many Virgos go on to become great artists in future lifetimes, but I would think artists that actually break boundaries, artists that, because you know the boundaries so well, because you've explored the logical reality in and out in every possible angle that you could, it's actually the type of artist that is breaking the rules because you know the rules. Sort of like, you know, the Dadaists did in, I don't know when they came, like maybe the 20s, or the Expressionists or Impressionists. All of these artists who, like, they knew the drill, they knew how to paint. That wasn't the reason that they decided to do something entirely naive and different and childish. But they just wanted to break the rules. They wanted to have fun with it instead. They wanted to explore creation instead of steer creation. So future lifetimes will be all about playful exploration and just being in the world and playing with the world rather than trying to control it. Finding knowledge for expression, basically. Yeah, this lifetime is all, this is a bit more of the specific cards, and you got such a beautiful bunch of specific cards, and I took them all to be basically about this life creation. So again, this lifetime is all about finding the beauty within, finding refinement and elegance within. It's all about illuminating that inner path rather than the outer one. You really need to walk to the beat of your own drum, because there's no other way for a Virgo. There's no way to do something just because the collective wants it, or to do things because it looks good on the outside. Virgo is all about the inside. The beauty that a Virgo emanates from within and then towards the outside, if that makes sense. There are many people who are the opposite, like they create abundance and beauty in the outside world, and then that sort of feeds them inwards. But from you, it's really true, the saying that beauty comes from within. And this lifetime is all about finding that beauty, finding that grace, finding that refinement, finding what makes you so special in this world, and what particular type of energy you can refine that other people will just marvel at. Through that inner exploration, there's also this sense of like grace, like grace. There's also this sense of grace. There's also this sense of healing, deep, profound inner healing. I'm seeing someone who's really becoming very, very powerful. And this is interesting because the reading started off a little bit on a dark note. When we had the past lifetime with, you know, someone stealing from you or taking from you, it looks like that experience just made you even stronger. It looks like that experience really threw you on a maturity path where I don't think you've become cynical at all, or you haven't, like, you could have walked in that direction, but because you choose to become, or because you chose to be reborn as a Virgo, you've chosen to go within then, instead of chasing scapegoats on the outside. So you've chosen to take those experiences and realizations and really turn them into insights, and pellets of wisdom that you can use to grow your own power and your own strength, and just find even more of a sense of abundance and a sense of security in yourself, in the person that you are, and in the qualities that you bring to this world. And I think future lifetimes, again, it will be about turning this 10 of Pentacles right side up. It will be about reconnecting again with giving to others. But to be able to give to others, you first have to give to yourself. So yes, this lifetime is all about giving to yourself. It's not that much about giving to anybody else. You might be in a relationship, you might be, you know, surrounded by people, you might be enmeshed in community work, and you are a great asset wherever you go, both with your wit and your insight and your clarity and your wisdom. But, you know, the great quest that you're on in this lifetime is giving to yourself, feeding that infinite loop of abundance, feeding that infinite loop of self, divine creation and love. And once you have fed that loop, you can go into future lifetimes giving to other people, or giving of that, you know, infinite well or infinite wisdom to other people. But this lifetime is all about you. Yeah. I think that's it. That was a really beautiful reading. Very clear. It's funny because it's like you're on the Pisces Virgo axis, and the Pisces reading was also really, really clear. So I told you guys I would tell you a little bit about myself at the end of the video. I will first just close the reading. So reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, past, present, and future lifetimes is now closed. So my name is Sister Rosa. I'm a sister in the Sisters of the Valley, and we are an eco-spiritual women empowerment organization. So we work with Mother Goddess, Mother Earth, we work with plant-based diets, and we work with plant-based medicines such as CBD. And we believe that we need to get back to the ancient wisdom of our forefathers and get back in connection with Mother Earth. So if you want to know more about us, you can just Google us, because there's a lot of information out there. Sisters of the Valley. And I have done tarot readings on YouTube for the past 2 years or something like that. But these reincarnation readings have turned out to be really popular. Now I do personal readings, and if you want a personal reading, you can always contact me down below. My information is down there. But I also have a Patreon page. And right now I have almost no followers because I just started it. And every month at the 15th, I do a raffle where I draw a name, and the person who wins the raffle will get a private in-depth reading with me, Sister Rosa, and I send the reading to you through a private video link. And so to support me on Patreon, all you need to do is it's only like $5 a month or something like that. And it really helps me because I see that people want more of this content, and that I can actually, you know, the more I can support myself on the channel, the more I can put time into it. But also it gives you a chance to get a reading that I usually sell for about $65 to $70 for, you know, next to nothing. So it's a win-win type of situation. And the earlier that you guys join my Patreon page, the bigger the chance of winning, obviously, because, you know, I don't have that many followers there right now. So I really recommend you to go to my Patreon page and become a follower. Otherwise, you can always buy a private reading with me, or you can just subscribe and keep watching my videos for free here on YouTube. Please leave a comment, please leave a like, so I know what you think of the video. And I love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!